Okay, guys, so welcome back. Ian Q here with Tastefully Inspired, and we are getting ready to start the panel. You can see everyone's getting seated, and we got the panelists sitting down, Mikel, Welch, and Barbara Viteri. And we're going to go ahead and walk around a little bit more while we're getting settled, while everyone's getting settled. Okay, so Barbara, you can share it now.
No.
You can share it now.
I can?
Yeah. Okay, cool. So let me sit down here. It looks like everybody's seated. Everybody's seated, so we're getting ready to start.
Everybody would like to take your seats. We're going to get started in just a minute. My name is Amy Franks. I'm with Eisen. I'm the Vice President for the Northeast region. And I'd like to take this opportunity to welcome you all here. We're thrilled to have you in one of our newest homes here in New York City. I would like to also welcome our guests here. All of you are our guests, but certainly I'd like to start by welcoming Barbara, and thank you for bringing Designerlebrity to Eisen. We're really thrilled to be part of this. And to LuAnn, we're excited to hear all of your wonderful questions and to inspire us more with design ideas this evening. And to our panelists, Mikel, Cheryl, and Manuella. You all are hitting a variety of topics, from hot topics, Designerlebrity talks, and the potential. So we're thrilled to hear your perspectives on design this evening. And without any further ado, I'd like to turn it over to LuAnn.
Thank you so much, Amy. First of all, I would like to also give a big, huge thank you to Eisen Allen, #1, for this amazing event. Also to Barbara for the genius that she is, and of course to all of you lovely people who have joined us tonight, Mikel, Cheryl, and Manuella. So the thing is that if any of you people here are podcast listeners, you know I like to get into it, okay? But we're going to have to go I'm going to say a tiny bit tame, and then Barbara's going to yell at me right off the bat. I'm just going to say that. But what we're going to do is we're just going to go a couple of questions, 1 or 2 questions for each of you, okay? First question I'm going to give to you, Mikel, sitting right here. One of the things that I have to say, 2 things. Now, we all know that Mikel is the set designer was previously for the Steve Harvey Show, and now is for the Harry Connick Jr. Show, in addition to owning a restaurant in New York City and having designed that. So I'm not going to make an assumption you guys all know the street cred of all of our guests here, okay? But I would like a little inside information on 2 things. The first, we're going to go tame, Barbara. We're just going to go tame first. I know, she's ready. We're going to go tame first.
Can we just stay in tame?
So, truly, Harry Connick on his show is just, at least looks like the sweetest guy on the planet. Has his wife on for a Mother's Day special, has his daughters who all sing his praises, and I'm thinking, man, I would pay my kids to say those things, right? So is he as sweet and wonderful as he seems to be?
No, actually he is. Actually, I would say this, Harry Connick Jr. is very authentic. When we're in the hallway, I will never forget the first time I actually met Harry Connick Jr. He stopped me and said, "Hi, I'm Harry." And I'm like, well, you know who you are. Like, I don't need you to interview. But he's that type of celebrity. Like, he doesn't see himself as a celebrity. People stop you in the hallway and introduce himself. But, you know, what you see is what you get with Harry. I think he's in a unique situation where this is season 1. And, you know, this is new for him. And so he's excited, and, you know, he has this new fan base that he's kind of trying to embrace and just trying to understand and finagle his way through. But no, what you see is very genuine.
I'm so happy about that. Who else is happy about that, right? Don't you love it when you find out that the people, the way they seem, are the way they are, right? Because you get so disappointed if they're not. That's the worst. Okay, so thank you. All right, Barbara is dying for me to ask this question, and I'm like, can I just have to ask
me?
it? Yes, yes.
No, let's let her ask it. What is the question, Barbara?
So Steve Harvey
Okay, I will tell you I'm going to give you a brief synopsis of Steve Harvey. So, what people don't know is I was working in set design with his executive producer on a funny show called Jerseylicious. It was about leopard and cheetah print, and it was like an intro to television. And honestly, I worked with that producer first. At that point, I was in the middle of auditioning for HGTV for a show called Design Star. And my producer told me if I didn't win that show, that she wanted me to come to Chicago to work with her on a new show.
So there's a thing called luck.
No, I don't like to use the word luck. I like to really say that, you know, things are meant to happen and the stars align and it's a lot of prayer and it's a lot of work. Like, I bust my butt to get to that point.
And it's well deserved.
And by the way, you have to be prepared to be lucky.
No, thank you. But yes, but Steve Harvey, his business partner, is honestly the one who got the ball rolling. So I'm not afraid to admit on HGTV, it's a show kind of like, they had a show called Design Star. It's just like Project One Array. 10 people live in a house, you have to design a challenge. And on the show, I came in fourth place. Steve Harvey's business partner stops me on day one. It's like 20 executives sitting at a table. And he says, like, the meeting is going kind of like it is here. And somebody abruptly says, I know who you are. And I'm like, okay, well, sir, like, sit down. And he's like, you're that guy who put that horrible green paint on the wall and they sent you home on HGTV. And I'm like, now I was looking at the time to talk about it. But what he says to me is, I want to speak to you after the meeting. And I'm like, I wish you would have done that after the meeting too. But he asked me to come and redesign Steve Harvey's office, and that's really how the ball got rolling.
And he's really a cool cat, though.
Steve Harvey?
Yeah.
Yes,
He's a
Steve
cool cat.
Harvey. You know what? He has a lot going on in the media, but I will stand up for him and say this. You know, that email, there's an email that went out, basically Steve Harvey addressed the staff, saying that, you know, he didn't want people coming up to him and stopping him in the hallway. Well, let me be really frank and honest with you. I work with a lot of celebrities, with Oprah, Michelle Obama, Harry Connick, like so many, and you can't just walk up to them. Like, they have an entourage that will stop you. Steve Harvey would allow 15 to 20 of us to sit in his office. My mom and my dad and my sisters would say, hey, Mr. Harvey, because I don't call him Steve, because I don't age respect.
Yes.
He would take those pictures. And what people don't realize is that, yes, stars are in the light and, you know, they're celebrities, but they need their me time. That man gets to that studio at 4 a.m. every single day to take a radio show, and he doesn't leave until 8 p.m. So for him to tell us that, no, you can't stop me in the hallway. 20 of you cannot congregate in my office. And, like, we could have a party in his office. And he could be on the stage, and we've kept the party going, and we forget, oh, this is your office. So, you know, I feel bad because he's taking a bad rap.
Well, and that's what he said. That's what he basically, when he explained it, he said, you know, not for nothing, but I can't walk from my office to the set without being a half hour, you know, to get there. And so
now you know why he's a hot topic.
Yes.
You want the
right.
dirt.
Mikel is our hot topic. Exactly right. So thank you for sharing all of the hot topic stuff with us. Okay, so let's go to Cheryl Eisen. So Cheryl, everybody knows, is from $1 Million Listing, right? And she has her amazing home staging business here in Manhattan, and that sort of seems like an understatement to actually say that. I'm curious, because Barbara would like us to dig a little bit into things. I'm curious, I have seen where Frederick is sort of, you know, like honestly seems like he's second guessing you and like directing you, and I'm like screaming at the TV going, you've got to be kidding me. You hired this woman to do her stuff. Nobody does it like her. What is that like?
Frederick is a TV personality for sure. I mean, he is like that in person. But he really, now that I've been working with him for 10 years, before he was famous, in fact, he lets me now do my thing.
Okay.
He doesn't even show up until the end. He knows it's going to be great. But on that one episode, yes, he was all up in my face saying, wait a minute, what are you doing with this and what are you doing with that? But I did stand up to him because I'd known him for a while.
Yeah. You told him, stop hovering.
Yeah, exactly. He drives me crazy. So he's great to work with.
All right, go ahead, Barb. I know you're dying. Go ahead.
Everybody watches Barbara Listing. Have you seen Real Housewives of New York? Okay, technically they would have called her a Barbara-lebrity instead of a Designer-lebrity. But I love the idea of calling interior designers designer-lebrities because they really are celebrity interior designers. And all these amazing reveals that you see, it goes to the credit of Frederick and or to Bethany's place or to someone else's place, and they tend to kind of say ta-da, and the designer-lebrity does not get seen or shown or give credit, and it's sort of like they didn't exist there. And so to be able to see you on Open House NYC doing your thing is incredible. It's really nice that they put you up front, which is great. I love that show for that. I love that show for that. But at the same time, I love Bethany. The Queen of Mean, whatever you want to call her, the B is back. She's my people. I'm direct and straightforward.
Yeah.
You staged Bethany's apartment and it sold in 24 hours.
Correct.
For over asking.
For over asking.
For ask, all cash.
Yes, thank you, all cash. And it's funny because I remember when Bethany had her show, I knew the designer-lebrity who did her place.
Karen.
Yes. And I was like, oh dear Lord. You know, so the point is I love to get your perspective of how is that where you're dealing with networks and they're just like, well, you know, do this amazing work and, you know, we won't talk about it.
In the beginning, when I got to be on the LuAnn Nigara listing for the first 2 seasons, that was fantastic, and I'm really grateful. It really put me on the map. And then after that, Frederick said I was getting too busy for him, so he wasn't going to put me on anymore. So now I'm the behind the scenes. But I love seeing my work on TV, and I'm grateful that it's out there in any event. You know, it does sting sometimes when I see some things where other people are taking credit sometimes, and that's a little painful, but I'm just grateful to have it out there.
And are you doing anything hopefully back on TV, back on Open House NYC, or we can see more of you?
Probably. I'm on there every couple of months.
Perfect. So Open House NYC, check it out. You're going to love her work. It's insane.
And the other thing that I would love to add is what we learned earlier today is those amazing things that she's doing in 12 days. This is the deadline. So this is a room full of interior designers, and you all know that you are typically given, I mean, I interviewed Denise McGay. Her whole thing is 90-day design.
Right.
And that was like incomprehensible to me.
She looks like she's rude with her time in that time frame.
Exactly. It's like, well, are you having lunch every day? Like, what's going on? And, you know, Cheryl's doing this up in 12 days.
Yeah.
So
she
it really is remarkable.
A designer-lebrity.
Yeah, no, it's really remarkable. And that's not to take away from the ones that take 90 days to do it. So, but we did also talk about, too, how there's a certain freedom in not having to design for a client. Now, everybody in this room that's a designer understands that challenge because you probably could get it done in 12 days if you didn't have to ask, right? But talk about that, because that's just your vision each time, like your inspiration for the space, the architecture, what's your world about the back?
It's true. I'm so lucky that I don't have to deal with a million people's tastes. It's fantastic. I don't know how you people do it, but like, who knows? No, people come to us for our aesthetics, which is broad appeal, right? And that's easy to do. Something everyone will like. And they come to us because we've got that look. And they're just like, do your thing. Boom. It's awesome.
It is. It's awesome. It's amazing what you accomplish. And the ideas and the things that it really is spectacular.
And these are like mansion-sized places as well.
Oh, yeah. And the price tags are like, 50 mil, 60.
Yes. It's
Yeah.
not like make one room look amazing. It's like 15 rooms.
And get the price for it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right. Very good. Very good. Awesome. Thank you. Manuella. So Manuella is one of the co-lead designer for this Ethan Allen showroom that we're in, and she started at the Ethan Allen corporate headquarters in Connecticut. And so I'm curious, unlike Cheryl, who can design to the space and to her particular inspiration, and let's be real, maybe what you've got in your warehouse that's available, that's not out on another project, right? Unlike that, you have every walk of life, I would imagine, coming into this fabulous showroom. You've got all different demographics, all different personality types, all different styles. What is that challenge like, Manuella, when you're working here in the middle of Manhattan like this?
Absolutely. I mean, it is a big challenge, but I think it just forces you to become better. Being I worked in Connecticut for a little over 3 years, and then being here in New York, I can tell it's very different, but I'm very fortunate to work under the LuAnn umbrella. I mean, we have so many different styles. We have the traditional, we have the modern, we have the transitional. So for me, it's fantastic because I get to run my design business under such a great name, which is LuAnn.
And this store opened only this past year in August, right?
Yes.
And so you came from Connecticut here to be part of this brand new showroom here, right?
Yeah, so I was in Connecticut for many years. I loved being there, and it was a great place to start because I actually got to meet a lot of people at corporate headquarters. So I got to meet the people who, in marketing, the people who design our product. So for me, it was just fantastic because I just picked up so much. And then I wanted to grow, and there's no place like New York for that. So I was presented with the opportunity to come here and join a fantastic team. We have about 12 interior designers that work on our team here as well. And I was very, very honored to actually be with them here.
Well, and not for nothing, but you must have something going. Well, I know you have something going on, but I mean, it's nice that other people notice it too, because you seem awful young to be a co-designer of a store of this size, a flagship store like this. So, and I have to say, in the last couple of weeks, as we've been preparing this event, I am very impressed with the Ethan Allen team. Everybody just really is that word, team. It's very apparent, and I said to you earlier, I'm so happy that you work here because I think it's awesome for you, and I think it's a great opportunity for you, and I love watching in the last year through Instagram, watching you evolve.
Thank you.
It really is cool. So, yeah. Really is nice. All right, let's get to the Designerlebrity here. All right, Mama.
Yeah.
What do you want to do? What do you want to say? I know I've kept you at bay here for a minute.
No,
So.
well, that's my turn then.
Well, first of all, I'm going to tell everybody about you a little bit.
Oh, I'll write the check.
Last year, when the podcast started, we started the podcast in February of 2016. And it's just like with Manuella. Barbara and I became acquainted through different social media, Facebook, Instagram, different things like that. And you start to flirt around each other. And the reality is that when you come across somebody through a social media platform, you really don't know what's behind. You know what's in front, right? You know what the work you see, you know the face that goes forward. But sometimes when you meet them, you are sometimes less impressed and sometimes more impressed. And when Barbara and I started flirting around each other, all of a sudden it was like, you know what, maybe you should come on the show. Oh, okay, I'd like to come on the show. And I'm going to tell you what, this is one brilliant woman here, and I am not exaggerating. And she wanted to come on and talk about this new idea, Designerlebrity, and it was just a little baby germ in her mind last year when her first episode on the podcast last spring, early summer. But what happened was I asked her one or two questions about her background and her business background. And then I was like, oh no, heck, I want to talk about that. Because she was a business manager for interior designers, and this lady knows her stuff. She knows how to run a good business. She knows what goes into running a good business. And now what she's doing is she's reinvented herself with this platform. And when she came back on the show this past winter to say that it was launched, exactly. And it doesn't surprise me that we're sitting here with 100 and some people to come and see what you've created, because there is a unique thing that happens in your brain. And I know all the crazy stuff happens too. I get the crazy stuff, it does. But it's a very specific person that has a talent like you have, Barbara, and I have witnessed it, and I am, happy to know you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, that was so nice.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So tell us a little bit more. Tell us about the platform. Go into more detail about the hot topics and the potentials, and explain to everybody about this new thing that you're doing for this design community.
Yeah, it's funny because I'm a white girl that was born and raised in Marcy Projects in Brooklyn. So the most infamous neighbor there would be Jay-Z. Anybody ever heard of him? Okay, so don't let the exterior package fool you. But from that environment, there's no way that there's an interior design connection. We didn't even know what the word interior design was. And I feel like luck helped me where I got a job at a very posh antique store where it was called To The Trade. It was called Howard Kaplan Antiques, but they only sold To The Trade. Now this is like 20 years ago. And when they meant To The Trade, Madonna could not get into this store without her interior designer. It was strictly To The Trade. We turned down Tony Bennett, we turned down, I mean, you'd be amazed. And I was like, well, wait a minute, who's the celebrity here if I'm not allowed to let these people I've seen on TV in? And that kind of created this world in my mind at the ripe old age of 18 that there are celebrity interior designers out there. And I'm a pop culture junkie. I watch all of like E! and Access Hollywood, and I'm reading the tabloids, and I'm like, these people aren't in here, and that's what I want to read, and that's what I want to know about. And it's been a whole world of like music, and there's focus on authors for books and movie stars, and you know, but there was no place for a celebrity designer to kind of get a little bit of a spotlight. And then fast forward to just working for all the major players in the industry, and then I was like, I know I'm not going to be an interior designer. I got good taste, but not that good. I just thought, you know what, let me just run a consulting firm. And I was a one-man band, and I ran it the way an interior designer did in their prime, so to speak. They were just them. They didn't have an entourage. They didn't have publicists or anything like that. It was just all about the work. And then I got bored because I was like, I can't believe these guys do that. It's just interior design in their world. Then I realized, well, maybe it's because I'm so interested in the celebrity side. These are designers that are on TVs that we watch. And I'm gonna tell you right now, I don't watch HGTV. I think for good interior design, you gotta watch Bravo. So I'm just gonna let you know right off the bat. But fast forward about 2014, I'm blabbing about a Bravo show, and I'm like, oh my God, someone's career is ending. Just on Twitter, just Donald Trumping it. It was horrible. And a network reached out to me and said, we want to give you a talk show. The things that you say, the stuff that comes out of your mouth, and you really are unfiltered, and we have a feeling if that person was in your face, you would say it to them. And I'm like, yeah, to both of their faces. I have no problem at all. It wound up becoming Designerlebrity Talk, and I called it Designerlebrity because I kept thinking back to that time where I was turning down these celebrities that they couldn't get into the store because they needed a designer to get in. It truly was To The Trade. And that sort of catapulted to creating this brand, Designerlebrity, into a website, because I didn't want to do a season 2 of that show, because I'm more like a Chelsea Handler and you can't beat too much. So I thought, let me create a website where I can spotlight celebrity interior designer news, and I'm going to categorize it. One would be a hot topic. There's something going on in current events. There's a designer that can represent that. A Designerlebrity Talk, there's something going on TV or shows that we're going to watch or books we want to read. There is a designer that can represent that. And then also what I call the proof in the pudding, back to my roots of working with a designer that just didn't have time to get a publicist or have people talk about their work. But if you saw it, it was proof in the pudding. And so potential could represent that. And these 3 categories represent Designerlebrity and what it's meant to do for the industry. And I'm not gonna lie, this industry is like high school with money, you know? It's like they just, a lot of them didn't get it. A lot of them, you know, I suggested, why don't we do like I could contribute to magazines, or, you know, maybe I can contribute to shows, and they just didn't see it. It was always about the star they were working with, or if they could just write an article and they don't mention your name, and it just really frustrated me. So I put my finger up, and I did that, and now I did this. So thank you all.
Is that you know, everybody thinks that things happen overnight, and that's one of the things that I learned on the podcast. How many people are, you know, you have this from 18 years old, festering and building and dreaming, and now, yeah, and now here it happened. And so that's a big lesson that comes out every time I interview somebody, that it is being lucky, and it is being in the right place at the right time, but it is being prepared to be lucky. It is having done the hard work and having done the homework and having, you know, become the person who could stand there and be ready to be tapped on or create something. Okay?
So let's do
So,
something
yeah,
like this. Just like a celebrity, someone has to run.
Yeah, I have to.
Ryan, is that why you're so fidgety?
I am late for it. 8 o'clock.
Right,
Yeah.
no question.
No, I can take one.
Okay, with anyone here?
Anybody have a question?
Oh, see,
Okay, oh, there you go. Get the heck out of
Barbara,
here.
I love you guys.
Heading off?
Yes, I have to.
Tell them why, because I got to put you on the spot. Why are you up and going?
Okay, so I'm a member of the Soho House, and they have this event tonight where you can win a free trip to Paris. I am with you in spirit, but I gotta go.
But wait, before you do, just real quick, we are going to take quick photos because we have wonderful press here.
Yes.
We'll take quick photos. And if there are no Q&As, I suggest you guys go have some great drinks.
Yeah, is there any Q&A before we call it? Oh, we have one question.
Oh, we do. So, anybody.
And I just wanted to ask anyone who wants to answer, could you share a moment of struggle coming up where you felt whether it was not feeling good enough or not knowing enough or not knowing if it would work, and what maybe pushed you through or how you pushed yourself through?
Why can't for the project? So struggle enough. For me, though, I feel like any new business, anybody who starts a new business, I don't think anyone can really touch upon how tough it is. You're looking at it on TV, and it looks like it's instant fame, instant success, and it's not. And I think, for me, my struggle was happening in front of you. I literally just started the brand. It launched in November. And just because I have a room with hundreds of people, it doesn't necessarily epitomize it as a success. It's just, you just continue and you stay in your lane and you act like you're Michael Phelps and you don't look left, you don't look right, you just want to stick with the focus. So that's the only way I find that I've actually grown and gotten to this place. I just keep staying on my own path. I stay in my own lane.
Oh, I'm sorry, actually I can answer it as well. That's very interesting. Right, I've been doing this for 10 years, but before this, and I have no shared design experience, I had an internet company back in that day, and for 10 years, and it went out of business, and I was completely broke, living on my mom's sofa, and I had to totally reinvent myself. And it took a couple of years to figure out how to do something completely different industry I knew nothing about. It was really difficult. And I started just me doing it, and 10 years later, perseverance, now I have a 50-person company. So,
And a multi-million-dollar empire.
That's true. Thank you.
I mean, I feel like I'm always learning something new every day, especially being in this type of environment that, you know, I may meet a client who has a completely different style than, you know, what I'm used to working with. So it's all about learning how to adapt and asking the right questions, understanding the client first. That's how I start the process, is understanding their lifestyle, because one of the big things here at Ethan Allen is that we're not trying to sell our clients the Ethan Allen look. We're trying to help them create their own. So this is why we have interior designers and not salespeople working on our floor. So that's a big thing for us.
And I would just add to that, if you are, I took the question to mean struggle with knowing when and how and what to do and a calling, or if you're on the right track with what you believe is a calling. That's how I took it. Okay. So I would say to you that I promise you there's a voice inside you. And that voice inside you will never lead you wrong. It just won't. Okay? And you have to take time to listen to it. You have to take time to respect it. And doesn't mean that you don't ask for counsel. It doesn't mean that you don't have a business manager. It doesn't mean that you don't consult with a coach, a husband, or whatever. But listen to it, find it. And you see, Cheryl, 10 years, she built this business in 10 years. That's amazing. So it's possible to do anything. Just stick to your true self and find it in you, and just, you can do it. I'm 100% sure of it. Okay? Listen to yourself. All right, anything else? Anybody else have any questions?
Good.
Oh, you guys just want to drink.
I have a question.
Oh, okay.
Hey, Barbara.
How you doing?
I'm good, baby. Well, listen, I'm a big fan of what you're doing, and
Thank you.
how can the trade help you help us?
I've been
nice
asking
question.
that forever.
You know, I mean, how can we open the door and help you and get exposure and help us in the brotherhood and sisterhood of interior design and the trade?
Yeah, it is an industry, just like, Tinseltown for, movie stars, and there is a fashion industry. And like, me, I call it, like I say, it really is like, basically a click with money, and I think with the network that gave me my show, that was an incredible opportunity, because there would be designers that would literally pay to just do that, you know what I mean, just to be able to get that kind of exposure. But I think the key is that you have to recognize talent, which is what I feel like I'm doing. It's very easy for me to say, I think, because I'm not a designer, but I'll judge a book, so I can judge and think the public is going to agree with me when I see if a show is really going to make it, because we're all sort of doing that. If the industry can pick up on that and listen to a general public, and then there's someone that's sort of like, the translator, and say, this is what I'm seeing, it seems like a given,
So, but he's asking how, as interior designers, they can help forward your mission in that. Is there something, I'm trying to think of it as you're talking, and he's asked the question, what as an industry can we do to support you? This is a beginning. Here we are, we got it out of the closet.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying?
This is a great beginning.
But are there other ways? I mean, do you have an idea, Cheryl? You do?
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's all about, you can have a great product with no marketing, no one's going to know about it, right? You can have a horrible product with great marketing and everyone's going to know about it.
Yeah.
And that's how I sort of, not that I have a horrible product, but if we all, sort of put it out there on social media, her brand, and, in every event, invite her to it or whatever.
But also to give you, just real quick, but to give you an answer, like there are a lot of organizations that, whether it's IDS or, it's part of IDS. I think when you actually do your events, it doesn't hurt to have a powwow meeting and not shut the door, because I've gotten that quite a bit, where it seems so out of the box, where I just recently did one for IDS, and I'm like, why can't we have a game show setting? Put these designer celebrities on the spot and judge other designers' work. You can't, have this ego so much, and that's why I call you celebrity designers. Sometimes your egos get so big you can't put a turtleneck on. It happens, but on the flip side, it's so great to see you in a different light. So if the platforms, the TV shows, everything, radio, anything where you get your information on what you are interested in, if they can embrace the Designerlebrity brand and let us flow and just be able to do our own thing, because it is going to be different, I guarantee it. I don't like to do, what's already been out there. I think that's the first step, because honestly, you really wouldn't be anything without public. It's the public that decides if they're going to buy your product, if they're going to read your books, if they're going to watch your TV shows, if they're going to really think you're qualified. And I love that I'm not an interior designer. I say that all the time. I'm the public. So, I just rather be the voice and tell you what they're saying.
And how about if a designer has something coming up, a scoop, right? Something that
Designerlebrity.com.
Right, they can share with Barbara before
Yes.
it goes out to other places. Now, of course, AD comes, you might go there first, just saying, but...
That's the other thing, that because a lot of platforms could be pay to play. It really concerns me. Designerlebrity is not pay to play. You are not paying to be on the cover of my magazine. You're not paying me to promote your product. Honestly, I'd rather just share it from an authentic perspective, and there wasn't a dollar bill to go with that. Now, I make my money in other ways. Thank goodness I have my real estate partner here, so I do really well with real estate. But Designerlebrity is not a pay-to-play platform. So I would like the public to know that when they come to Designerlebrity.com, it wasn't because we had paid scoop or anything like that. And honestly, I'm not paying for the scoop either. Do you want to share it or you don't? But somebody will be talking about it.
But we're suggesting to the industry that if you're a designer and you've got something going on, that if it's noteworthy and you've got some pictures or something to go along with it, that you share it with Barbara, and then Barbara will put it out on the platform.
You ready for the email? It's funny. It's hbic@designerlebrity.com. I kid you not. That's the email.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That's a great question. Thank you. Anybody else?
Facebook Live questions?
Yeah, we got a couple questions from Facebook Live here. So I'm going to combine them into one. So Cheryl, Darla Powell from Miami asks,
Hey,
Darla, LuAnn says hi. Darla Powell from Miami asks, what was involved in your reinvention of yourself? And second part, Regina O'Brien Summerup from Burlington, New Jersey asks, could you talk a bit about how you got started doing staging of homes?
Hi, Darla and Regina. Is it the second one? Hi, guys. Thanks for the question. I didn't know what to do after my first business failed, and I literally had like nothing, and I was sort of floundering. Someone said, go get your real estate license. So I did. I got that, and I realized that I wasn't going to be a great real estate person. I was just not great at selling. But I watched HGTV, and I thought, hey, I could stage these apartments, and maybe they'll sell faster. And so that's how I got started. I started staging my listings, and lo and behold, it was like viral. Brokers started saying, who staged this? Can you stage my place? And that's how it all started, and it just became word of mouth, and it spread like wildfire. And and there was some luck in it, I suppose, as well. And that's how I got started. And
was it in this market here that you started doing it? Was it? Did you
yes,
say or it
New York
was?
City? Yeah, absolutely. Wow. And I think it was 2004, 2005. So it was a strange time in real estate as well. That's very lucky.
It's actually a remarkable story.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. Okay.
All right. Thank you, Facebook Live.
That's it. Anybody else have any questions? Oh, we have one here from Marjorie.
Hello. I wanted to ask you, Barbara, what is the definition of designerlebrity?
Oh, in short, to save your oxygen, it's celebrity interior designer, condensed designerlebrity. So,
what
no,
right?
well, it's like, like I'm speaking a different language. no, I feel you. I feel like I'm not getting the questions either. I didn't drink yet. My definition of a designerlebrity, again, I like to quote it short because it is very long to call someone a celebrity interior designer. But I remember when I was doing Designerlebrity, fashion designers would come up to me and they're like, oh, I'm a Designerlebrity. And then I was like, oh my God, I really are going to have to clarify what Designerlebrity is, because fashion people would be like, that would be me. And artists would say the same thing. I'm also a designer, I do art. And I thought, okay, like the Skinny Girl brand, I probably should consider her client's Bethany Frankel. I really am going to have to, figure out what this brand is going to be. So a celebrity, which pretty much everyone knows, is the public can recognize them, whether by name, by face, by their work. I wanted to niche it just for interior designers, and so I think a celebrity interior designer is kitchen table talk. You can talk across the room and be able to say, oh yeah, I know that person's book, she wrote a book, or I know this person on TV. And to me that epitomizes what a celebrity interior designer is, when the public can address you by name, face, or product.
So now, I would like a follow-up question, because Marjorie is a podcast listener, and she has a full-time job in a construction company, but she has a side hustle as an interior designer. Nice. So I would love for you to explain to her what makes a potential, so that maybe she could set her sights on that.
That's a great question. This has been tough because I felt I had so many entries more on the potential side than the actual Designerlebrities. And I think Designerlebrities are just intimidated. To be honest with you, like, you TMZ-ish, or you
turn them down, that's their problem.
Yeah,
right?
and I do. But for the potential, I think it really is the quality of the work. Like I said, I'm a viewer. I'm the one reading the magazines, and I'm the one watching it on TV. And just like you would with any platform, you get the work out there, and then you get to see who can pick it up. So whenever I get work in, if I'm not responding, it could be time, but it could be also the fact that, I just think the public will either rip this apart, or they're just going to figure out and say that's proof in the pudding. And so all you have to do is just put yourself out there, and you'll know, because you'll get a call back, or even if you don't, you just continue on to the next one, like Jay-Z's song, on to the next one, on to the next one.
Okay.
Thank you.
You have a little there. All righty. Anybody else have anything that they'd like to ask?
Oh, you're on Facebook Live.
All
Say
right.
hi.
Everybody say hi.
All right. That's awesome. Thank you so much.
So we'll head over there. I know that.
Hi, that's Amanda.
Some press over there. We're gonna head over there and take some photos. photos and answer any of your questions for your blogs and magazines. And guys, thank you so much for coming to meet
All right, guys. So there you have it. The panel of designers there. That was Mikel, Welch, Manuella, Moreira, and Cheryl Eisen. And I'm going to go ahead and stop this video now, end it down. In just a couple minutes, I'm going to do another episode in which I'm going to be walking around and talking with some of the guests, get their reactions to the panel. Actually, you know what? I might as well just keep this going right now. Let me get set up here. Put my light up here on my phone. All right. Okie dokie. So, let's see who I can ask some questions to here. Ladies, could I ask you about your reaction to the panel? Was there anything in particular that stood out to you guys? Is there anything that you're going to remember from this panel?
I definitely like hearing about overcoming failures and not being sure about things and moving forward after that and knowing that there's light at the end of the tunnel. I like the inspirational pieces.
Yeah.
I also like to hear their background and where they came from and how they became who they became and how they got there. It was very informative and brilliant women doing their thing.
Yeah, me too. I appreciate, seeing people who have kind of get to where we're trying to go, right? And see what it takes. And future designer celebrities. And are you guys future designer celebrities?
Absolutely. Yeah? Future designer celebrities.
Now, Mikel, he, worked with Steve Harvey, and one question that I have for, now you guys are interior designers, right? Is there a particular celebrity that you can think of that you would like to work with?
That's an interesting question. I'm looking forward to working with some of the younger generation folks. Blue Ivy, I wonder what her closet and home will look like in 5 to 10 years. Something like that. Maybe Blue Ivy. Let's think about
Blue Ivy
to grow up one day. So
yeah.
the children.
I would love Shonda Rhimes. I think she has a brilliant mind, and it would be interesting to see someone as mentally creative as she is, how she lives, how she likes her space.
Right. Okay, ladies, thank you very much. Enjoy the event. Bye-bye. Okay, so let's see who else we got here. Okay, we've got two guys. Could I ask you, a week from now, when you're sitting at home thinking about this event, is there anything in particular that you think will stand out to you based on what you heard on the panel?
It's just really fun listening to how they got started and just hearing the backside of everything. I love Barbara. I love the whole brand, Designerlebrity. So it was very informative learning more about each person on the panel, what they're all about.
Is there anything that'll stand out to you?
I just enjoy being here. I'm not actually a designer, so she's pretty much speaking from the designer point of view.
Now, are you interior designer?
I am.
Okay, so now here's a question. Now, Mikel Welch, she obviously worked with Steve Harvey. He had his a nice break with a celebrity. Is there a particular celebrity that you can see yourself you would like to work with?
Oh my gosh. Well, there's several, but I don't know which one in particular. Well, I do it's funny, we talked about the Bravo. I'm kind of obsessed with Bravo as well, so any of the housewives would be fun.
Any of the housewives?
Yeah.
Okay.
I definitely like the housewives.
And what is your interior design business?
So my company is London Pierce Design. I'm based out of Scottsdale, Arizona, and I came out here just because I love Barbara, I love Designerlebrity, so I made the trip.
You flew out here for this event. Does she know that? Wow. What a compliment.
Although she has yet to actually meet her.
I'm going to in a
person.
minute. She's obviously very popular, so it'll be fun.
Well, you've been speaking to the Tastefully Inspired audience. Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you, and I love you too. I love Tastefully Inspired.
Oh, you know Tastefully Inspired?
I do.
Very
yes.
good. Very
Yeah.
good. Hey, let's give a shout out to Tastefully Inspired. Hey, guys. All right, enjoy the event. All right. Let's come over. Let's ask Barbara. Let's ask Barbara and her good friend. Hey.
Shannon, she's from Hudson Mod Magazine. You're live on Facebook. Say hi. Hi.
Now, Shannon, let me ask you. You saw the panel just now, right?
I did.
And a week from now, when you're thinking back, what is going to stand out to you? What are you going to remember about this panel tonight?
I think one of the primary things is how fabulous my friend Barb is here.
Thank you.
No, it's really incredible. Your accomplishments, obviously, in the entire panel. Number of amazing women up there, which I really like to see.
Yeah, but Mikel had to run out. Sorry, fans saying goodbye.
And we'll have to talk about some future.
Yeah, sounds good. She has an incredible magazine based out in New Jersey. So
which is?
We are. Hudson Mod Magazine is Manhattan and Northern New Jersey. And we just launched Chicago Mod Magazine.
Nice.
In Chicago.
Cover story. I'm just putting it out there.
Thank you.
And Barbara, for you, what will you remember about this panel tonight?
I think I blanked out.
No, you didn't.
Okay, good. You know what? I'm really excited that Ethan Allen opted to take a huge chance to be able to really talk about something that's so new to the industry and just kind of present it in sort of a red carpet fashion. It's insane. But I really hope that the public embraces it, that the industry embraces it, and it becomes a success.
Okay.
Thank you.
Very good. Ladies, enjoy the night.
Thank you.
All right. So looks like LuAnn Nigara is having a photo taken here with Manuella. Let's see if I can steal them after this photo. So let's go. So Manuella and LuAnn. So now I'd like to ask you, a week from now, when you're thinking about this event, thinking about this panel, what do you think is going to stand out to you? What do you think you're going to remember about this panel, this event tonight?
Wow, I'm so excited to have such amazing talent here under one roof. I will definitely remember it for much longer than a week, for sure. Yeah.
LuAnn, what will you remember?
I'll remember the significance that Cheryl's business is so huge and so large in just 10 years. And I'll also remember Pooja, who is at the other end of that, who is now just beginning her business, and Marjorie, who is here and they're just beginning their businesses and looking forward to seeing the possibility if they can create that sort of success for themselves. So, and I'm interested to watch this little lady right here take off, and this our potential here take off. So, I remember that tonight.
And LuAnn, are there any sneak peeks that you can share with us about upcoming events?
Let's think about this. I guess the first thing that I can think of is we got Vegas Market coming up soon, don't we?
Are you going to be there?
Of course I am.
I'll see you there.
I'll be there with Sarah Danielli and Kelly Ellis.
Okay.
Yep. I'm trying to think what else is going on. What else is happening? I don't know.
You always have something
I know. I think it's pretty much that we have about 2 months off, other than recording and interviewing and all of that stuff with the podcast.
Right.
Yes, and sort of somewhere in between there we run window works too. We
Somewhere.
try and do some custom window treatments and awnings for people.
In between everything else.
Exactly.
Okay, ladies, thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right. Give a shout out to Mark and
That's it.
Tastefully Inspired.
Thank you tons, buddy.
All right, guys. All right. So, let's see if I can find Cheryl. Let's see if I can. Whoops. All right. You know, I think we're gonna go ahead and end this video now. Thank you everyone for watching. Again, I have been Ian Q with Tastefully Inspired. This has been a special Facebook Live coverage of the Designerlebrity event called Meet the Creator and Headline Makers of Designerlebrity. And it's been at the Ethan Allen Design Center in Flatiron, New York, 915 Broadway. And we've had this incredible panel here. Thank you so much to everyone for tuning in. And just let you guys know, I will be broadcasting for Tastefully Inspired again this upcoming Sunday, starting this Sunday, maybe Monday or Tuesday as well, at the ICFF event here in New York City. So stay tuned for that. All right, everyone, thanks so much for watching. Again, I've been Ian Q with Tastefully Inspired. Good night.